In today's episode, what you're looking at right here, our friend John made his own camera rig to stick onto his car. He used an iPad, an Xbox controller, and some piping off some fence over at Home Depot or something, right? So what you're looking at right here is what we're gonna show you today. We're gonna walk through what he did, how he did it. We're gonna ride along, and then we're gonna actually explain this as we go, as we drive, what's going on here. You'll see all the different angles. We've got a GoPro outside showing it, all that stuff. So stay tuned. This episode is actually really special. If you're interested in photography and videography at all, this is where you want to be. If you're interested in car footage, this is where you want to be. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Like, hey, this goes to, so like, how?
It just like trial and error, because like before the Xbox kind of happened.
I'm just trying to connect my Xbox controller to my Xbox. All right, so we're back. If you haven't watched the other video where we interview this guy, it was amazing. Go check it out on the channel. But today I want to talk about your car and mostly your rig and how the heck you did this. So we already have the story behind why photography and all that. So how the heck did you develop this? And I heard it's not just you, it was you and a buddy?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that.
Okay. The rig was kind of more of a solution of the fact that we, there's no more like hanging out in the cars like a lot of like when people start. It was dangerous. It worked. It does a job whenever you need like those certain shots. But we were starting to do like trips, like group trips with like car groups in Virginia, and we just needed a solution. So me and Matt Smithson, he was like, let's just figure it out. And this went through like 6 or 7 revisions, and it was just like, all right, are we using rubber? Are we doing this? But this is like, from the mounting standpoint, very like, I say custom, or I don't know, like a Lowe's Black Friday special. Like it's just like,
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get on this side so you can come in closer, Miller, so you can see in detail like what he's talking about.
This
is the Lowe's special.
Yes, this
is aisle 14.
Correct, Lowe's plumbing special right here. This is
incredible.
This is some chain link fence like piping that we cut, and there's a dowel going through it.
That's
this one,
wild. Wait, so what do these rigs normally cost if you were to just go buy one?
I believe when we were pricing it out, you can buy like the 2-inch steel. You can
That's what
buy
I mean.
this.
Yeah.
I think altogether it's right around like 5,000 or 6,000.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
And you use chain link fence tubing.
Right. We were kind
of see what I'm getting at here.
Right. There's no one way. It's very convenient. At the end of the day, if you look at all the time and like the mistakes that me and Matt made, like as we were creating it, it's like, okay, you can pay the money to kind of have it outright.
Yeah. Or
you can have a little challenge and figure it out, I suppose.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's so brilliant and creative. And like even the suction, like how did you, obviously you know the basic design behind one of these, but like where did you get this type of stuff? Like,
These are kind of piecemeal. So like, I don't remember where all of the logistics exactly came from, but there was a lot of options for this. Just like there's just like suction cups. The pump ones are a lot more reliable than the ones that you just kind of like stick on and you hope for the best. These kind of indicate like that one is loose.
Good catch.
Yeah. These indicate like where it's at.
Oh, okay.
Right. So if that line is there, it's fine. But this really isn't as important because this is just keeping the rig from going left and right.
Right.
So it doesn't hold any weight. This is the part where the Lowe's special comes in a little more handy.
I love how you did it with the tow hitch.
Matt kind of came up with it because we did it a couple of different ways. We had like a pipe coming up and then another pipe and then we clamped it together. And then at some point he was just sitting there. I was like, why don't I just have our buddy Eddie like just weld it to a tow hitch and we buy threaded pipe. So this is just cast iron pipe. And this is like adapters, couplings for 2-inch pipe. Dude. And it just ended up working. The issues were that like, well, I think we were on one of the rallies in the mountains, and as we were turning, this would unthread itself. So the arm would kind of like go like this. Yeah. And then so we welded that. There was a couple of reiterations with this part. This is just a Pro Aim arm. I say just. It's definitely
that looks like the real deal.
Yeah. Give or take. There's when it comes to like technology or stuff like this, they recreate so fast. They have better ones now.
Listen, if this was like aisle 13 at Lowe's, I'd be really impressed.
This is just straight off of Pro Aim. This and then the tri-way dampener, and then this was also part of the kit. But this is This is really the important part, how you dampen certain frequencies and vibrations from here. This can be, you know, adjusted, and honestly, this is more of like, okay, I want this style or I want this style.
Yeah, so if you want more of like a raw floating footage
Right,
of
right.
the cars going through the mountain, like when we were at CLT speed, you're probably trying to capture some of that movement, so you might leave this a little looser.
Right.
Okay.
Or if it's like this stuff right here, if it's gonna be really sharp turns and I don't want to slow people down, I'll just tighten it up so that as it flexes, it'll hold.
Yeah, because listen, I mean, a lot of photographers say, listen, we only got to do like 30 miles an hour to get the good shot, right? You were like driving the shit out of this car.
We didn't want to slow.
There was one moment, I'm in the 05 GT, Miller and I are in the 05, or no, I was by myself on this part. I was in front of you guys, and you guys were on my ass. And I was like, okay, well, I
was
better
trying
push
to
it.
pass. I was trying to pass.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, because I'm trying to film him, and he's just like.
So from the cockpit, when you're up there, and we're going to show that in a second, what parts of this are able to be controlled from inside, and what parts are not?
Right here. This is the gimbal and Raven Eye and the camera. It's all integrated together with the controller and the app.
All the way from here down?
Correct. Yeah, right here down.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Correct.
this is the
And
mechanism.
Right.
Yep.
And then these are power supplies to V mounts that are in the trunk. All right. So this is in the cabin. It's a manual transmission. You can tell that this rig thing was like an afterthought.
I love that you're holding an Xbox controller right now. Did you pull that out of the man cave?
Yeah, I did. I had to borrow it. This is the main controller. So if you watch,
I have so many questions right now. Like,
you watch this screen. So like,
What?
Yeah. So we'll take this.
Okay, here's what's blowing my mind right now.
Okay.
Is this an iPad?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so you got a Xbox controller somehow to connect to all that. There is a lot of research that went into this.
Right.
This
Correct,
isn't
correct.
like you bought a kit that was like, hey,
No,
this
no,
goes
no.
to. So like, how?
It just like trial and error because like before the Xbox kind of happened. or
I'm
the
just trying to
controller,
connect my Xbox controller to my Xbox.
We were trying to figure out because like I would have to. There was a couple of times it got a little bit dangerous where we're like driving and I have to like go like this and tap, and you know haptic feedback gets a little sketchy. So like you can turn and track, and that's kind of all I was like relying on.
What?
And now like if we were to move, it would keep that and off of like color contrast and differences, right? But there
No,
was an
not
issue.
right. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It has a tracking system that there's like a little monitor underneath the gimbal, and it allows all this to get controlled
That's so cool.
through the app.
That's so cool.
And then you have the controller that's connected to the app and the iPad.
So you did a Velcro strap. You
Correct.
put Velcro on the so you can wrap it around your leg.
Correct. I couldn't. We were trying
Bro.
to think of solutions. I remember. I think it was the day of like one of the big rallies that me and Matt were going to, and I was like, I don't know where am I gonna put this here or am I gonna put this here? Like there was like different.
Trial and error.
Right. And then at some point, it was just really better to be in my hand. So I literally just went like this.
Dude, this reminds me of like when I buy my kids a gift and like an Amazon box shows up and like we open it and there's the gift, they'd rather play with the box.
Right.
Like this is that simple stuff, right?
I love
It's like,
Legos.
you know,
I love Legos, by the way.
it's like
So-
let's just strap some Velcro.
Right,
That's
right,
so cool, dude.
Yeah, we just problems upon problems, and we're just like, there's a problem, then there's a solution. So here we
Do you know
are.
how most people make their fortunes in America?
How?
Solving people's problems.
I heard actually. I'm in the great market. It seems. Me and Matt. Yeah.
You're already doing what most people like build huge companies off of. This is awesome. You're just fixing an issue.
Correct.
So how did you learn to hook an Xbox controller and what app is this?
YouTube. Oh, this is the DJI.
YouTube,
Yeah,
exactly.
YouTube. So there's not an official like this is kind of a hack, and I haven't updated the firmware. I remember I was talking to Patrick about it. It was like this is the actual app itself, and you're not actually supposed to see anything when the controller is connected. So it was hard to like justify. But then you go on YouTube and you find these little hacks. So you go into the DJI app, you go into controller.
Okay, it's DJI.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you just connect it to the iPad, and now
Whoa,
you're here.
that's crazy,
But you can't
dude.
see anything, so the hack is to back out and go right back into it, and then the Raven Eye automatically connects to the Vision. Yeah. So now everything is controlled in here.
That's I love it.
Yeah.
So, dude, I want to see this in practice. They want to see it in practice.
We want tacos.
Let's go drive it, and we want tacos. So this is what we're gonna do. Hey, Miller, watch this. Miller is going to take this car.
Yay!
So we are entrusting the GT500's life with Miller and Vince. Vince is gonna ride along. I'm gonna ride in here and try to shoot that car. Not shoot it with guns. I'll shoot it with camera. And we're gonna see how this goes. So let's go.
press B,
Press B.
it'll start recording.
Oh,
And then right now you have the freedom to kind of move things around and whatever angle or wherever you want to frame them.
what's Vince doing?
Yeah, the
He's got
Polaroids,
his
you
hands
can
up.
see them.
That's awesome.
So let's say I'm driving, we're in the mountains and we're cutting it up.
Yep.
If you drag, you drag like a color contrast. So you have this like black and gray situation here, right? And then compared to the background, you just drag. And then now it'll track that the best that it can.
No way.
So like now,
I don't have to even touch it.
right.
Is blown right now. This is freaking incredible. Like, cause I've never gotten to experience sitting in the passenger seat. We're gonna go straight. I've never sat in the passenger seat and like watched how this works. It's amazing, and I feel like I'm watching a motion length film, like through an iPad.
Yeah, that's kind of like so the layer of the controlling and then the camera work is also like that extra layer, because if the exposure's off, you're not going to get the shot right. So right now it's still a little bit bright, even though it's shooting log. So that's like right now it's shooting in log, that flat color profile. But luckily DJI kind of thought of that, and it's you can see what the exposure looks like.
Dude, this is so dope. And obviously, while we're showing this video right now to everybody, I'm sure they're overlaying some of this. This is incredible.
You know, let's say we're just driving. Nobody wants to just see the rollers, right? And we'll just be driving. So you'll have to move and let them know. So like, hey, Miller, don't move. I'm just gonna kind of move out the way. Please don't overtake. So let's say, like over here, we don't have any double yellow, so I'll move over a little bit to get like real dynamic movement as it's.
Whoa,
right? So,
that's crazy.
Miller, get a little closer. Vince knows the hand signs, but I didn't brief anyone. Yeah, come closer. Like, basically tailgate me.
Okay.
And kind of stay at the distance.
Whoa, dude.
And then we will don't overtake, all right? So we'll move over to kind of get this shot. Ooh, I'm kicking.
Bro, that's wild.
Yeah.
And Miller, what do you think? You like that thing?
I love this car. It's so bright.
Did you put it in sport mode?
Sport exhaust.
That's what I'm talking about. My boy. My man. Look at that. Dang.
Those and people forget, like, especially when we want to give the drama of cars, you kind of want to be aggressive on camera, if that makes sense. So like, Miller, try to like do those like aggressive tailgates, like like speed up like really fast and brake really hard behind me, and then kind of like wiggle around. Oh,
That's crazy. I was gonna tell you to stop.
Yeah.
Right here. Dude. Yeah, so this goes way deeper than just I got a rig to the back of my because now you're in the artistic side.
Correct.
And that's what I was talking about earlier. Is like you're trying to drive the car and be artistic. So you're thinking about while doing all this, you're already in the windies, but now you're going more extreme because you're trying to capture something artistic as well.
Correct.
Wild.
And
I am so impressed right now.
Wait, we drink a lot of coffee. I was like whenever it's like straight and then it moves over if there's room, because it's just like movement you can't really do. So that's what we're doing something that other people like quite can't, especially when you put $5,000 into a rig, you want to get it all.
Yeah.
So like
it adds so much to the shot when you do that.
yeah.
Because then also the camera's auto tracking back, so the camera's now going with a different background too, so it's even more dynamic.
I like this car a lot.
Whoa, that is so awesome!
All right, hey Miller, switch to the left lane.
No way. That is so cool.
I always love those shots. So now we're coming up. So right now, this is also kind of an issue because now you start seeing the car. So you have to stop tracking and kind of adjust. So take the controller.
I have to adjust now?
Correct. And then like kind of lock in the shot. Sometimes it's even better without locking.
Okay, so up is up and down is down.
Correct. And then this will control the roll. So like a lot of times when you can't, it starts looking like
what?
Yeah,
That's so
it
cool.
gives it another layer of like footage.
All right, I'm a pro now.
Yeah. We'll sign you up for the next rally.
Yeah, exactly. Put me a coach.
Yeah.
awesome. So Miller, do you have a new car on your list now that you might be having as a goal?
This might, oh yeah, this is definitely up there. Hey, I'm gonna come over behind you guys.
Track kind of.
Yeah, come behind us. Oh man, look at that. Whoa.
And then it kind of sometimes it like overdoes it because it depending on where you frame it, they're trying to keep it there.
They're gonna do a montage. This whole video is. Yeah, and then you can actually like be the remote for this thing.
Correct. Yeah, it's also cool, kind of like you know how like people do transitions where they like come up and then when it comes back, you film the down portion and then you come back down, right?
So if you're like up here,
Right. And you know they're in frame still, and then you just come right back down, right?
Whoa. Well, whoops,
But
I
yeah,
totally overshot that.
it takes a little bit of practice.
Sweet.